You're watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 5th meeting of the Michigan City Common Council Finance Committee. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the City of Michigan City Finance Committee meeting. Today is September 5th, 2023. The time now is 5:35 p.m. We will start off by roll call. Paul Przybylski,
Present.
Sean Fitzpatrick,
Present.
Tracy Tillman, present. We do have a quorum. The meeting will move forward. Starting off with the Michigan City Riverboat and Boyd claims dockets for September 5th, 2023. Riverboat number 2235, $98,907.88. Riverboat EFT fund number 2235, $0. Board Development EFT fund number 2504, $0. Total claims $98,907.88. Those claims are for Kenny Machinery LLC, $75,575.92. Keisler Police Supply Inc., $16,896.96. And LaPorte Chrysler Inc., $6,435, again totaling $98,907.88. Are there any questions in regards to these claims at this time?
Yes, I have a couple questions, Madam Chair.
Mr. Przybylski?
The riding mowers, is that for the golf course? What is is that for the Park and Rec? Or excuse me, is it for Park and Rec or is it for the golf course?
If I may also acknowledge, we do have Controller Hoffmaster in attendance. Ms. Hoffmaster, if you would come up, please, if you would be able to answer that.
Good evening. I believe they're for the golf course.
Okay. And were these were not were these in the budget from last year, or is this an additional variation?
These were in the 2023 budget. This council approved the PO earlier this year.
And they were not EFT, right? Under that. So this is additional besides EFT money, right?
I don't know what you mean by that question. These were paid with a check.
No, I mean, it's additional besides what was passed in the budget.
No, this was passed in the 2023 budget.
Okay. So it's not an EFT, it's a regular PO, right? EFT, electronically
EFT is
transferred.
electronic fund transfer.
Right.
That's a method of payment. So I'm not understanding your question.
Okay, you're saying it's a form of payment? Isn't that how you electronically transfer funds within the budget, within departments? Because you list them as EFT funds in the budget.
We pay vendors by EFT also.
Okay, that's what I'm
But
I'm
this
just
vendor
asking.
was paid with a check.
Okay.
I just have one question. It mentions on here trade-ins. So for the two trade-ins, is that off of the new equipment that's already been credited? Of the 9,500 for each?
9,500.
Right. Because if you look, the two tractors total $90,842. And this invoice was only for $75,000. So yes, they deducted the, $19,000 from the total cost for the trade-ins.
Okay. I didn't see the 90,000 not on the slip that I have, but I understand what you're saying.
Right. So, yeah, if you add up just the two tractors, they were over $90,000. They're
Okay.
$45,000 apiece.
Okay,
So they subtracted 9,500 from each of those. And then the
okay, which
total
comes
came
to
down
75.
75,000.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for clarifying that. Is there a motion to approve?
But I have one additional question on the,
There's a motion on the floor.
okay.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Vote. Paul Prisbalinski,
Nay.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Aye.
Ms. Tillman, aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Controller Hoffmaster. Also, the City of Michigan City Riverboat Statement of Cash Position, fiscal year to date, September 1st, 2023. Ending balance, grand total is $6,245,800. $6,245,845.04. Also, in regards to resolutions and ordinances, I do have a question. That will be discussed tonight at the City Council. That's going to be on the first reading. I just had a question regarding the approval additional appropriation in the budget of the Riverboat Fund for improvements to Paz Road between Cleveland Avenue and Clover Lane per interlocal government agreement with LaPorte County, Indiana, and the City of Michigan City, Indiana. It states decrease Riverboat Fund number 2235 unappropriated balance, $525,000, increase account number 2235, $525,000 capital outlay. And this question is to you, Controller Hoffmaster. For this area, is it possible or was it looked into if any of the South End tips could be utilized for this project?
Paz Road's not in the Southside TIF district.
Is it in the TIF area?
No. No, the TIF area begins at Cleveland and goes west.
Okay. And were there any funds available in the MVH to go towards this? Or how much actually is left in the MVH fund?
The MVH dollars are going to the striping contract that I believe was before the Board of Works this morning.
Do you know how much that was for?
It's somewhere in the neighborhood of $275,000.
Is that the would that deplete the MVH, or is there a remaining balance after that?
No, there is no viable unappropriated balance in the MVH.
Okay.
If you recall, for the 2024 budget, we're transferring $1.9 million from the riverboat to fund that budget.
You said 1.9 from the riverboat.
Correct, for the 2024 budget.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Prisbalinski?
So, on the question of the TIF district on the south end, Controller Hoffmaster, you said that the TIF area is west of Cleveland, right?
I believe that is correct.
I'm pretty sure it goes Cleveland to,
It's Cleveland to 400 and then west to, I don't know if it's just the other side of Ohio
Right.
Street.
right over there.
Yeah, over in that area.
Yeah.
Okay,
And this is Pause Road east of Cleveland
yes,
to just what Clover Lane, I believe it's what it's
I
called.
guess what I'm getting at is that, that's another thing that should have been looked at about redrawing the map when we do that. But it's still not too late to redraw those maps by the end of the year. I believe we should look into that.
Something to consider.
Mhm.
Thank you, Controller Hoffmaster.
Mhm.
Are there any other questions in regards to any of the ordinances or resolutions that will be brought before the city council this evening that is pertaining to the city finances?
I do not.
Mr. Fitzpatrick? None. Mr. Prisbalinski?
Yes, I have an additional question. At one of our finance meetings, I asked for a itemized list of what the funds were going to be used for from the riverboat on different funds put in to fund these departments, so that we would know what the intended purposes of that money was. And I got something, but it's not like an itemized list. It's from you, but it just has a fund, and it says insufficient revenues to fund the budget.
Right, if you,
But that was not what I was asking for. I was specific on wanting to know what the money was going to be used for in the transfer from the riverboat fund. That's all I asked.
the general fund transfer will be used to help fund the employee health insurance. And that's
On
what it
each-
says
on
on your
each
little
fund?
graph. Then the park and rec, their transfer will also assist the park budget to fund the health insurance. The others, I mean, if you want me to just write that it's for salaries, I can do that. For the other funds, it's to fund their operating budget. Their operating budget consists of personal services, which is their salary and benefits. It consists of the supplies used to run the department, and it consists of the other services and charges used in running the department. So the MVH and I don't remember the rest of them in detail. Those will be, the transfers from the riverboat will be used to fund their operating budget. So I believe I put in there what their total operating budget was and what their revenues, their expected revenues was. And the expected revenues do not include the riverboat transfers. So that's what we expected in revenues. So we needed the riverboat transfers to fund the operating budgets of those, I believe it was three or four additional funds besides the general fund and the park.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was looking for more of an itemized list on,
I mean, I can itemize the budget
What-
for you
what-
on the list. I mean, if that's what you would
what,
like me to do, because that's
what-
what it's going to be used for.
can you give me precise figures? That's what I was looking for.
Well, whatever the dollar amount is from the riverboat. So like I said, the
Oh.
MPH fund, it's $1.9 million. Their budget, I believe, is just
Here.
under $3 million.
Here's what I'm getting at, is that on the, say the park,
It's going to be used for
Uh,
their health insurance.
so what about you have the cemetery on here, and you have the Is it revenues? Is that what it's going to?
No, well, yes, it will be added to their total revenues so we can fund all of their operating expenses.
Okay. Well, I just want people to realize how can we be adding money to the MVH fund when their total budget, the way you have this categorized is where are we getting their total budget is $2 million. You have carryover money for that, don't you?
I believe theirs is less than $100,000 that we project their cash balance at the end of this year.
So we're taking that money out of the riverboat and putting it into MVH, correct? Is that right?
The $1.9 million, correct.
And do you have a list of roads that are going to be paved already for that amount of money?
This is not to pave roads. This is to fund the street department's operating budget, which consists of all of their personnel. It consists of the maintenance on the snowplows, the maintenance on their trucks, the supplies they need, the diesel fuel, the gasoline, and their, small tools and minor equipment, their repair parts, their utility bills, their workers' comp, all of the things that comprise their operating budget, which you have a detailed list of their operating budget. It's in your, I don't know if you have it with you. It's in your notebook or in your book that we made for you.
Okay.
That itemizes every single thing in that budget.
Okay. I was reading it a different format.
If I can interject, I'm not sure, I don't think he received. Oh, my apologies. I'm not sure if Mr. Pisbalinski received those additional breakdowns. I don't think that was a day of an absence, because the book wasn't even that day, because he wasn't here that day. So I don't think he got the parts.
I think she was referring to where
But she
the
broke-
line items where it's like,
Yeah, Mr.
fund
Prisbalinski,
1000.221 paper.
Correct.
Fund 100.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
line item budget. Yes, he did.
But
receive-
as in regards to the figures and the actual budgets and the reserves and the riverboats and all of that, how those was broken down, I don't believe he received those. That's what I was referring to.
Oh, okay. I believe he did, but
Oh,
I'll
okay.
bring another copy down with me.
Would you please? I would
Yes,
greatly
I will.
appreciate it.
Yes, I'll
Thank
bring
you.
that down with me.
Thank you, Controller Hoffmaster. And lastly, I would just like to thank all the city department heads that came out and did their part by my request of filling out their department heads Q&A for the 2024 budget for the city budget. I would like to say I believe it was a success. We had a great turnout. All the department heads did appear to represent their departments. There was many questions posed to them in regards to the need of their department to fully operate and to run the city. And with that being said, I did comprise a summary that I will pass out at the council meeting this evening to let them see what transpired from those meetings, which was from August 21st through the 25th. We had our wrap-up meetings and recommendations was held on the 28th. The meeting for the 29th wrap-ups was canceled. So other than that, unless there's no further questions, do we have anyone online from the public? There are none. If there are no more questions or concerns from the Finance Committee,
Motion to adjourn.
so moved. Thank you. The time now is 5:53 p.m.